welcome to my presentation on internet marketing for beginners. This is a real bird's eye view of everything you need to know about marketing your business online. So who am I and why should you listen to me? So my name is Victoria Caseborn and I have a first class honours degree in computer science, and I've been in business for over 10 years, and I've used the internet and technology to help build those businesses, and without it I would not have been able to do what I did. It allowed me to make sales with no marketing budget at one point, and you know, if you can really get this skill, it is worth thousands and thousands to your business. Just imagine if everyone searching for what it is that you do found you through Google, which is what everyone uses. Then imagine how much business that is going to mean to you. So there is an investment. If you've ever looked into SEO services, which is search engine optimization, which is just the process of getting your websites found on Google, basically SEO. If you've ever looked into those services, you are looking to pay. So I was just quoted, because I can't do all of my sites myself, £1,000 a month for 2 keywords on one of my sites. Very competitive keywords, but not hugely, and that is for a whole year. So that's £12,000. So it really has re-sparked my interest in SEO, because I used to do it all myself on my sites and used to have massive success. And since having a baby, you know, I've lost the way, and there were lots of changes in Google, but I'm definitely back on it now, and I'm learning loads, and I want to share everything with you, because I've learned some strategies that actually I took a site, a brand new domain name, and got it ranked on Google for a fairly good keyword within a couple of weeks. So it is completely possible to do this, but there's lots of things you need to think about. I wear many hats, as you see from the picture. I'm a mum, I run a couple of different businesses, I've got a technology background, I do coaching, I help other people, you know, start their own businesses. So lots and lots going on here. And technology is my friend, really. I use technology in everything. It helps automate my business as much as possible. It helps me manage everything. It helps me get sales. I mean, without it, I'd be completely lost. And it really, I feel for those that just are a little bit of a technophobe, can't really get behind it. You know, I do feel very blessed that I have these amazing things at my disposal. There are tools on there that allow things just to happen automatically. You don't even need to think about it. It's like having another member of staff basically in your business, and once you've invested in that software, there's no additional cost. So it really can save you a lot of time and money. So the first thing with internet marketing is your domain. So you need to choose, so this is www.mybusiness.com or .co.uk. Now you can have free or own, so here free or you know, so mydomainname.co.uk would be like something that you've bought and you own that, and you basically register them for a year, or you know, and then re-register them. So you never own it outright. You do need to keep up your registration, or someone can come and steal that from you. So wherever you register, I would recommend having it on an automatic renewal and making sure that your card is up to date. Otherwise someone could come and steal it from under you. You can have free ones, so it would be myname.wordpress.com or something like that, but that's not going to look very professional, so I would recommend it. It costs about £10 getting your own domain name. If you're the one that you want is not available, so if your .com or .co.uk is not available, I really wouldn't consider things like .me, .info or anything like that. I would try adding something to your domain to get your .com or .co.uk. So whether you add online, something like that to it, so that you get your .com or .co.uk, and make sure that it, you know, it's easy when you read it out. It's easy to spell, and people can find it, and it's not too long. I've seen some really long domain names. You know, you need to fit them on your business card and packaging and stuff like that, so don't have it too long. And the other query is whether you have it, you know, as a brand or your keywords. It really depends on your business. That's a completely sort of per business decision. If you are just wanting to get sales online, then perhaps having keywords in it is a good idea. If it's mainly a brand, then I think your branded one, you know, is a good step. Google really used to reward, you know, used to favour, you used to get better results for keyword rich domains. So if I wanted to link for handmade jewellery, if I had handmade jewellery in my domain name, then I would do better than if I didn't, but for the term handmade jewellery. But that is not the case anymore. You may get a slight edge, but not worth, you know, leaving your brand behind if that's the decision you're making. So one of the main things, the main considerations you will have is your keywords. Now by that, it's mainly key phrases more than words, and that is what people are going to type into that famous old little Google to find your business. So I would get a spreadsheet or a piece of paper and just write down everything you think your customers would type in to find you. You really want to be getting into their heads. You don't, you know your business better than anybody, so you will use terminology and words that perhaps they don't know. So what would someone that doesn't really know 100% what it is they're looking for perhaps be typing in to find you? Now you want a really long list, and then what you can do is go into some tools. And at the end of this I will give you a handout for links to different tools and things that I use, but there are keyword tools which you can put in your list and it will tell you how many times it's searched for, so that you know if it's worth you chasing after. You can see how much how much competition there is. There's lots of research around it, but I really recommend getting that right. And what you want to do is maybe start with a list of 5 to 10 keywords that you're going to optimize your site for, and then do that. So yeah, if you Google Google keyword tool, then that comes up. I did see an email recently that they are changing that, so I just need to look up on what that means for us. But yeah, there's lots of keyword tools out there, and I'll give you a link to a few in a moment at the end of this thing, a download. But that is a really, really important part. Whatever it is we're doing, whether it's video marketing, social media, SEO, you need to really get clear on what those key phrases are. So you don't really want to be chasing after keywords which are like individual words. So say in my industry, gifts, I wouldn't try and optimize my site for gifts. Okay, I just wouldn't even have a chance. The longer my phrase, the better the chance I'm going to get. And also the traffic is more interested in what it, they're more ready to buy. The more specific your key phrase you choose, the more further down the buying cycle those searchers are. So if someone's searching for gifts, it's just a random, they're not, what are they looking for? You when you're buying a gift, you know who you're buying for, you know what you're looking for. So it may be like personalized baby gifts for a boy. That would be much easier for me to rank for, but it would it would be easier for me to rank for, and the people are really ready. I know what they're looking for. I can deliver them the content that they want. So yeah, get a list down of everything you want to search for, and then get it into some sort of order. And tools, there's lots of tools on there to help you. There's tools out there which again I'll share with you, which you can put your list into, and it will tell you where you are at the moment on Google. It does like searches every day, and then you can go in and you can see how many keywords you've gone up for, how many you've dropped down for, and so you can monitor your activity, because it is all about monitoring, seeing what works and seeing what doesn't work. So the first stage to SEO, like I said, search engine optimization, so getting your websites ready for the search engines, is making sure that your website is ready for them, so that when they're called bots, so when a Google bot, it's a little robot, little piece of script, visits your website, they are basically looking to see what that page is about, so that they can then deliver that page to the people that are searching on Google. So you need to make it clear to Google what it is that page is about, and they need to feel that it's it's well put together, that it's about that subject in its entirety, that you're a bit of an expert on the subject. Don't lose sight though that the fact that page is mainly for your visitors and your customers, so don't spam it or anything like that. Always have your customers at your forefront of your mind, so don't try and do things just to win with Google, because you'll end up getting banned anyway. So when you put images on your website, you can have alt tags and titles, so make sure your keywords are in with, key phrases are in there. You can have internal links between your pages, so you can link using your key phrases, but a word of warning there that Google actually can put pretty hefty penalties on your site, and by that I mean they just won't show you up. It's not a financial thing, it's just that it'll start not listing you if you link too heavily with your key phrases. It looks to them that like you're trying to do something dishonest, so everything you do has to look completely natural. So you know, have links, some sort of click here, some branded links, you know, with your brand, and then some keyword links. It has to be completely natural. You have to get your key phrase obviously in your actual copy, the main body of your page, because you know, that's showing Google that it's about it. And obviously you also need sort of words in there that are related to what it is. You know, it's such an advanced algorithm that it can tell if the rest of the copy sort of follows through with everything else you're writing about. So, you know, make sure that you're not just spamming loads of your key phrases into some random text. It needs to sort of make sense. Then you've got something called meta tags, which is behind the scenes really, and you will need access to sort of behind the scenes of your website or a developer to do this for you. Now, I love WordPress. All of my sites are now built in WordPress, and that has you can easily get access to your meta tags, and that is the title of your page. So when you search on Google, you can, when you search on Google, you'll see like 10 pages come up, and you'll have a blue underlined line. That is whatever they've put as their title, and you will have a bit of text underneath. Now that would be your meta description, so that is your little advert. So it's so important to get that right, because not only will it help with your search engine rankings, but it will help people decide that they're going to click on you rather than someone else. If you don't have your meta description and title filled in, it's just going to pick it randomly, and you're not in control of that. So very, very important. There's also a keyword meta tag, but it's not so much used anymore for Google, but there are other search engines out there that may use it, and you don't know that they may start using it again in the future. So while you're doing the page, it's worth sort of filling in your meta tag. So that is like your keyword tag. So, you know, all the different keywords that are relevant to that page you're writing for. And then you've got the structure of your site, and there's basically you want to help the flow of the link juice that you're getting, and we'll talk about links next. Make sure that it stays on your site, because it really does flow. It's like an energy, and it just gets less and less each link it goes through. But if you can keep that in a circle on your site, that really helps. And you're looking at your navigation structure and the keywords. So I would probably start with a piece of paper on Word with a real hierarchy of pages and how they all interlink to one another before you start designing your site. And if you're doing it retrospectively, then you know, you can start sort of tweaking how pages link that you've already got on there. So off-page SEO is mainly building links, and what this does is it shows Google that people are finding your content interesting and that it is worth mentioning and linking to, so that they start seeing you as an authority. If you had a piece of information on the internet and no one paid any attention to it, no one linked to it, no one said anything about it, then they're going to think it's pretty naff content. So what you need to do is show Google that people are finding it interesting. Now you can do that through bookmarking. I'm not quite sure how effective that is. Social media, which we'll get onto next, but there's also lots of links. So there's directories out there. So if you're in a particular niche, see if there are directories for those niches and add in a listing. Now again, don't do any on really dodgy directories. Make sure they're really legit, and you will probably have to pay for those listings. Now what that's doing is getting you a really good quality link, but it's also going to give you traffic through the directory as well. So there's a win-win there. There will be natural links where people find your site and think it's useful and want to share it. So the more information and useful content that you have on your site that is worth people linking to and sharing, the better for you, because that all happens naturally without you having to do anything. You can purchase links and make sure they're good quality, that you're not going to get them from bad neighbourhoods. What's happened in the past is that people have sold links, and Google obviously doesn't want that to happen because they want it all to be natural. So those places where everything is, you know, they've sort of been penalised, and it's called a bad neighbourhood because they're seen as just simply selling links and it's got no value, and that can actually harm your site rather than boost it. So if you go down that route, make sure you do it carefully. And there's Web 2.0, so this is things like Squidoo lenses, WordPress and things like that. You can set up your own sites and information pages online and link them back to your website. So you're creating an extra ring of mini sites around your main site, and then you pass links to those. So it's different linking structures that you can do, and that I'm not going to talk about that now because it's much more complicated than this sort of bird's eye view. But there's many strategies out there that you may want to think about when you are embarking on a linking campaign. It is very, very it takes up a lot of time to do this sort of thing, and because it's not an urgent thing, it's the sort of thing that would get left behind, but it is very, very important. So perhaps this is something that you need to look to outsource. It's not a cheat because there is a lot of time involved, but it is something that will really help your rankings. But you can do it yourself by doing all of those things if that's what you wanted to. You need to be seen by Google as the authority on your subject. So say you're a photographer, you want to be blogging and posting on forums all about photography and tips and stuff. You want to be having a really busy social media, always pointing back to your website, and Google's going to keep seeing all these links coming up to your website from other blogs. So guest blogging is where you write an article to go on someone else's blog, and in exchange for that content you get a link back to your website. That's really valuable because it's a very contextual link. It's a link to photography on a blog all about the keyword that you're wanting to rank for. So that is the ultimate thing you're trying to do. If you were going to set up Web 2.0 properties or guest blogging opportunities or videos or anything like that, they need to be about the subject that you're trying to rank for. And those links are going to be even more powerful. If you just have links on really random sites that have nothing to do with you, then they're pretty much going to be useless to you. So social media, Facebook, Twitter, the more active you are on there, keep posting links back to your website for, it helps Google see that people are visiting your site. They're going to be tracking how much traffic you get, and if it's really quiet, it's going to think that there's not a lot going on there. So you need to be getting traffic to your site in order for it to build. It's like a cycle. You can do video on YouTube, so you can get little videos on your products. So if you're doing jewellery, you could do really lovely videos about each of your products. So A, you're going to be getting traffic from YouTube, and you probably will pick up sales from that. B, that's going to help your SEO of your main site. So it's all thinking about the bigger picture. So you're getting all of these little things that are feeding into your site, which are bringing their own traffic, plus it's helping your natural rankings in the search engine. So yes, guest blogging, like I said, that's blogging. You just approach another blog and say, I could write you a blog about this, or you may be approached yourself. And then there's forums around your subject. So say for me, I help people start creative businesses. So if I hung around craft forums and things like that, and and I could help people with any business questions, and then in my signature I have links back to my website, that is going to really help me because I'm being seen as the authority on that subject. So tracking is it's really important for you to track where your traffic is coming from. So you would use something like Google Analytics. There are other paid for services available, and then when you go in the back office, at the back end, you can see what people have used to search for to find your site, where they've come from, what they've clicked, how long they've stayed on your site, what they've done. You can really drill down, and that is invaluable because you can see what actually people are finding you for and what they want, and then you can sort of tweak your strategy with that in mind. So a really, really good a really, really important step in the whole process. So a word of warning is to not do anything, they call it black hat, and that means doing something that you probably wouldn't tell your mum about or your grandmother about because it's a little bit dodgy. So if you're buying loads of really rubbish links, that's not something to be proud of, and you sort of know that that's not going to work, and actually it could end up with a bit of a ban on you. So don't do anything, always focus on creating really good content, being really useful to your ideal target market, and getting out there in the wider community of the internet. Don't focus on trying to find quick, cheap routes to success because typically they're going to backfire on you. And so you don't want to be looking over your shoulder thinking, I wonder if that thing that I did is going to get me banned in the future. It's fine now, but is it sustainable? So just be true to yourself. Be really think of the bigger picture and take the longer game, and it will serve you well. there are ways of getting instant traffic. So SEO, search engine optimization, and the act of coming up naturally in the search engines when people search, it is quite a long process. There are no instant results. So what you need to be doing is looking at AdWords, which is where the little ads at the side of Google. So when you search, you've got your main listing and then you've got the ads at the top and the side, and that is called AdWords. So you can literally be up there in a day, and you pay every time someone clicks on your advert. So it does cost a lot of money if you don't get it right. So you really need to research how to do that correctly, how to get the best results, and really work on your conversion. Because if you're paying 10p, a pound for every click you receive, you have to make sure that the traffic that you're getting is converting into sales to cover that extra cost. So SEO is not free because it's very time consuming and you may need to pay for links, but once you're there, you get the traffic. You're not having to pay every time someone clicks. With AdWords, it's once you've run out of money, your ad's gone. There's nothing there. So it's instant, but at the same time, it's taken away instantly as well when you stop. So there's no sort of longevity there. You could find partners. So if there's someone already operating in your niche doing something slightly differently, could you do a deal with them? Could you offer their users a discount? Could you do a special competition for them? Could you swap things? Could you tell them about, could you tell your customers about their business and vice versa? That's free for both and it's win-win. So really something to look into. And could you pay for banners and adverts on the sort of sites that your customers frequent? So if say in me, I want to talk to mums, and they all, lots of mums go on NetMums and things like that. So if I had a banner on NetMums telling them about what I do, then that's really going to help me. And then what you want to do is make sure that the traffic that you do get counts, and that's where you talk about conversion. So the traffic that you get to your site, you need to make sure that you have something in place to make every visit as useful to you as possible, because it's costing you money. So you can monetize the traffic by having links to affiliates. You can put adverts on there to so people are visiting and you can get paid every time someone clicks on an advert. I mean, that is not really, that's more if you're blogging. If you're having, if you've got a site that is all about the brand and your business, they're probably not suitable for you. So what you would probably want to do is have a mailing list capture form, but you wouldn't call it a mailing list, you would have a free guide. So if you're a photographer, you could have a free guide on how to get the most out of your family portrait studio session, what to wear, what to take, something that is going to be of interest for that person that has visited your site that they can get for free. But you don't just have it there to download, they have to email you for it using a special system so that you build up your mailing list. Then what happens is every time you run a special offer or a special, you change something, add something, move, whatever, you can email your mailing list and let them know. So you're building a real asset. It's going to be the most valuable asset to your business, that mailing list. So say we look at AdWords, if you're paying 50p for every person that visits, and they visit and they're not ready to buy and you lose them again, then that is just a lost 50p. If they pay 50p and visit, they're not ready to buy, but they see a really good guide that interests them and they download it, then you email them every month, you keep in touch with them, and when they are ready to buy, they're going to come and buy from you because you will have kept in touch, you've given them lots of free value, maybe some extra guides, you're not ever asking for anything in return, you're just giving, and then when they're ready to buy, they will come and buy from you. You also want to consider split testing, and that means, you might want to change your copy on your website to different headings, different colours, different images, what works best. So does really bright and gory images work better than classy image? You don't know until you try it. So there are systems out there which allow you to track when you make a change how that is going to affect the results, and then you can keep testing to get the best conversion rates as possible. And that is where analytics comes in, because if you don't have analytics, you don't know the difference. And then I just touched there on copy, which I've not put on the slide, but your wording is crucial for your success. So you need to be able to write really, really good sales copy to really increase your chances of making that sale. People are going to read it, and really good images as well. Make sure that when you get someone to your site, they've got every opportunity to want to buy from you. So I hope that's a really quick overview of what internet marketing is and what you need to be thinking about and what you can do and what is involved. So I've put a free PDF together with some tools that I recommend to do your keyword research, places where you can get you know, some good places to get some free links, and services that I use, like analytics and things like that. So there's if you want to download that, just pop over to victoriacasemore.com/freebies and you can download that there. So hopefully you have found that helpful. I'm hoping that I've not spoken too quickly. I normally get quite passionate about these things and I end up not stopping to draw for breath. So I'm going to stop now and have a big glass of water and let you ponder over what I've shared with you and see how you can build that into your business and your marketing strategy. So thank you for listening, and hopefully I shall speak to you soon.